software is just a tool, and without a strategy, it's never going to just make you money.
Yeah, exactly. So the analogy that I like giving brands when we speak with them is like, hey, we have the world's best gym. But if you sign up, doesn't mean you're going to get a six-pack or doesn't mean you're going to lose weight. It's like, you got to sign up and show up. And we've got coaches at the gym, which are like our dedicated account managers, who would help you with the right strategy. Like they'll give you like the diet plan. They'll show you the workouts, but you got to show up and do them. Like you can't just sign up for a good gym and then like magically transform your body, right? It's like, you got to do the work. So that's what I tell brands that we speak with.
Honest Ecommerce is a weekly podcast where we interview direct-to-consumer brand founders and leaders to find out what it takes to start, grow, and scale an online business today. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Honest Ecommerce. Today, I'm welcoming to the show CEO and founder of not one, but two amazing companies in the Shopify ecosystem, Yash Chavan. Welcome to the show.
Chase, thank you for having me. Been watching your show for a long time, so excited to be here.
Absolutely. I'm excited to chat. So before we kind of dive into your history and obviously what we're going to talk about today, for those that don't know, I guess give me, the elevator pitch for obviously the newest company, SATHI, and then I'll ask a follow-up about the previous one.
Yeah, good question. So the elevator pitch is, if you're a DTC brand on Shopify, you want to run an affiliate program that tracks everything that's supposed to be tracked, even if people have cookies disabled or ad blockers enabled with affiliates, and catches any sort of affiliate fraud, which is rampant in the space, and we can talk about that. Our platform is best in class at that. So if you want an affiliate platform that does both those things really well, get SATHI.
Absolutely. And you also are the CEO and founder of SARAL, which is similar but distinctly different. So what's the elevator pitch for that one?
Yeah. The pitch for that one is, if you want to manage all your influencers in one place, you get SARAL. So if you want to find, reach out, track, pay, do all of the influencer marketing funnel inside of one platform, versus traditionally it's done in spreadsheets or cobbling together like 4 different platforms. If you want to just do it in one, that's SARAL for you.
Awesome. And, obviously running both these companies, this question probably doesn't need to be asked, but it's like, how did you learn so much about this industry? Why was this a problem that you wanted to solve?
Yeah. Almost kind of stumbled into it. So my first business was a marketing agency. So started that pretty much right out of college, super young, like me and 4 other guys, just like in our bedrooms building like this business, taking any project that people threw at us, to be honest. So did that for a while, did a lot with Facebook ads, eventually found out that influencers had a way better ROI. Plus with the privacy changes with iOS 14, where it like first started showing like, hey, ask app not to track, our Facebook ads just started tanking, right? This is, this 2021.
Oh, I remember where I was when this happened, like in my life and in the agency journey.
Yeah, exactly. So pretty significant moment. And we were like, hey, let's pivot to this other channel, which seems to be working really well for brands. And then we run influencer campaigns end to end. We did it all manually in spreadsheets, cobbling together 3 different tools. And we were like, hey, there has to be a better system for this. Turns out there wasn't really anything that did things exactly the way we wanted things to be done. We're like, hey, let's just build this. Almost started, and this as an agency founder, like we're always coming across all these problems across all the clients. And I was like, hey, let's just build a platform here. So built a platform. We rolled it out across some of our brands, was successful. That was SARAL. And then we scaled that platform. Once we built that whole influencer platform, we were like, hey, there's this other tangential problem with affiliate marketing where brands on the SARAL platform were running affiliate programs, but they were seeing 2 main things. Because most affiliate platforms now are not working with like bloggers or more traditional affiliates, but are working with influencers. There's this lack of, all affiliate tracking is broken in 2 ways. It's last click and it's cookie based. So if somebody has cookies disabled or they have an ad blocker on, your affiliate sale is not going to be tracked. And it's all last click, which is just fundamentally different from how a conversion happens on Instagram, like 5 influencers post and then 1 person's discount code is used for the purchase, right? It's like you're under attributing your influencers. And the second issue was fraud, coupon code leakages, affiliates running paid ads against your own keywords and getting sales for themselves. Bunch of those things. We saw that at scale because we still work with 200 brands on the SARAL platform. We're like, whoa, this is a serious problem. Let's launch something that's maybe a little bit smaller that addresses like the tracking and the fraud issue. And that's the new platform, SATHI. So that's effectively the journey. So did it myself at the agency, saw a lot of aggregate data across hundreds of brands at SARAL, used the learnings from both to launch the third platform, the second platform, or the third business at SATHI.
Absolutely. Your story is amazing. I guess my first question would be, as you are launching this platform and you still have the agency, I guess what happened to the agency? Did it slowly spin down as you spun up the growth of the first platform? I think there's a lot of agency owners that are now dabbling into building a product.
Yeah.
And they'd be curious to know what you guys ended up doing.
Yeah, I'm happy to talk about it. It's like exactly what you said. We sunsetted the agency as like software MRR grew, and I liked the software business model a lot more. It's like, hey, I was in a little bit of a dreamland then. I was like, hey, it's recurring. You don't have to do like, because at an agency, you sign on a client, it's more work. In software, you sign on a client, it's not technically more work because it's the same software. I was like, whoa, this is like the most beautiful. I was ignoring all the onboarding, customer success support, everything that it takes to like onboard a client on SaaS. I was like, yeah, this is great. So we were sunsetting the agency as we built the software. And the good thing about the agency was because it was so cash flow positive, we were able to use all the cash from the agency to build the software. And both the companies are bootstrap profitable. So we are not on that typical like e-com SaaS, raise money from investors and then slap on like an annual contract on brands to pay our investors back. Like we are super brand focused, self-funded, sustainable. And that's how I like building businesses. So that's what we did basically.
So if you were, if you had like advice for entrepreneurs out there that do want to eventually end up in the SaaS space, would you say maybe follow your playbook, launch a service business in a particular niche, find problems that are sticky for those customers, build a solution, and then fund it with the service until you can kind of sunset it?
Yeah, I'd be very interested to see if somebody actually like has that forethought and does it. I kind of just stumbled into it. I didn't plan this like, hey, I'm going to start a service business to then figure out a software solution. But yeah, it's a great path because the best thing about the service business is you can make money like tomorrow versus with software. It's like, hey, it's going to take back when I started, it took me 6 months to build the original version. Now it'll take at least a month with AI and everything. You got to build it for a month. You validate it. There's going to be bugs. It's like a 6-month process until you get to revenue. With services, you can throw up a landing page, maybe run ads, reach out to your network and start making money like literally next week. So great for cash flow. And as a new founder, if you want to build a software business, I think it's a great way to just like do the work that your SaaS users would do for brands and get paid for it. So I think like looking at it retroactively, it makes a lot more sense, but I just kind of stumbled into it. But yeah, I think great path if somebody wants to do it that way.
Yeah. Well, we're giving people the truth right now. We're telling them the secret. I almost want to say that I read about this in a book somewhere. I can't remember the book, and I'm going to remember next week, and I'll email you what the book is, and maybe I'll put it in the show notes if I remember, everybody.
I'm a big business book guy, so send it to me.
Oh, absolutely. Awesome. So you eventually start to go all in on SATHI, SARAL, and then now SATHI. I guess first, we kind of talked about it, but I really want to not brush over what the core differences are in the platforms. So let's kind of rehash that. Like, what is the correct fit for SARAL? And then, how does SATHI play in with that ecosystem? I know that they kind of go hand in hand at times.
Yeah, they definitely go hand in hand. The core difference is if you want like a full suite solution where you want to be able to find influencers, if you're an influencer marketer and you want to like build awareness campaigns, do paid campaigns with large influencers, send them contracts, like that sort of more traditional influencer marketing, you go for SARAL. Versus, let's say you're a new or emerging brand, you want to test out a little bit of affiliate marketing, maybe turn your customers to affiliates, do that sort of stuff, then SATHI is the way to go. Most often what happens is brands start with the affiliate marketing, get a feel for things, see if it's working. And then when you really want to scale, you want to acquire influencers, turn them into affiliates, is when you go for a SARAL. So the way like I semantically think of it is like a MacBook and an iPad. Like, hey, if you just want to watch video content and maybe watch movies or something, like get an iPad. Or if you want like a full suite, like a computer, get a MacBook. So that's what I think of. The MacBook is SARAL, the iPad is SATHI.
Absolutely. Now, this is something that I often have to challenge our clients with at the agency. Is they will often have a misconception that just buying software will then also equal now have a program, right? So like, I think you know where I'm going with this. Is like, just when you sign up for a software like SARAL, it doesn't mean that you now have an influencer program. So like, what is like the work that the team on the other side of the table needs to be prepared to do? Like, do they need a dedicated influencer manager or, an e-commerce manager? What's the amount of, what does it look like in 2026 to run an influencer/affiliate program for a modern brand?
Yeah, a little bit different for both. So if you're running an influencer program, we recommend having, if you're at scale, most brands that we work with have an influencer manager in-house dedicated full-time on the channel. But if you're just starting out, and we have those sorts of brands as well, it's like you have at least someone part-time, 15 to 20 hours a week dedicated to building a program. So even if you don't have like a titular like influencer manager, you have somebody, maybe it's a marketing manager, maybe it's an e-com manager, maybe sometimes it's the founder themselves. They are acting as if they were like a part-time influencer manager. So like it takes 10 to 15 hours of work because you're finding creators, reaching out, managing conversations, seeding free product, making sure that they're posting. And software now, especially now with AI, does a lot of this manual heavy lifting, but then you're coming up with creative briefs, looking at data, building reports, like doing more higher level stuff, which maybe used to take teams of 3. I mean, we've like drastically seen that transition, because when we started, what used to be typically teams of 3 or 4 people is now 1 person. So we've seen that happen because AI and software is doing the heavy lifting, but it's still like 1 person, at least part-time, who's responsible for this. Versus on the affiliate side, it's not that much lift. So even if you're a small lean team, you want to build because affiliate is like the dream channel, right? Because on Facebook, you're paying for views. On Google, you're paying for clicks. On affiliates, you're paying for sales. So it's like, hey, if I'm only paying when a sale is happening, great, right? So you need maybe like a leaner operation. You can also turn your customers to affiliates. There's automations we have in the tool that do that. So it's much lower lift, but it's still like, at least a couple of hours of work every week on the affiliate side.
Hey, everybody, just a quick reminder. Please like this video and subscribe if you haven't. We're releasing interviews like this every week, so don't miss out. Now back to the interview. That goes beyond like affiliate and influencer marketing. It's just a core tenet that I think, software is just a tool, and without a strategy, it's never going to just make you money.
Yeah, exactly. So the analogy that I like giving brands when we speak with them is like, hey, we have the world's best gym. But if you sign up, doesn't mean you're going to get a 6-pack or doesn't mean you're going to lose weight. It's like, you got to sign up and show up. And we've got coaches at the gym, which are like our dedicated account managers, who would help you with the right strategy. Like they'll give you like the diet plan. They'll show you the workouts, or you got to show up and do them. Like you can't just sign up for a good gym and then like magically transform your body, right? It's like, you got to do the work. So that's what I tell brands that we speak with.
Absolutely. So let's dive in a little bit more into kind of the newest business and how you are helping folks. So first, you mentioned kind of like a big problem these days is brands are losing money through affiliate kind of programs. Let's speak more to that problem.
Yeah. So there's 2 sides. So maybe like dialing back a little bit, we've seen this at scale. So brands on SARAL for the last 2 years have driven $59 million in affiliate revenue. So we've seen this at scale happen. And there were 2 sides of the same coin. Brands are not paying the influencers that are actually doing the work, and they're overpaying the people who are maybe fraudulent. And here's why. You're underpaying the good ones because all of their traffic is being sent through like a cookie based link that's generated by an affiliate platform. And if most consumers like myself are using a browser such as Brave or Safari, that's by default no cookies, or if they just opt out of cookies, or they're using an ad blocker or a VPN, cookies are out. So you're naturally just losing 20 to 30% of potentially tracked revenue, right? And you're underpaying these affiliates. On the other hand, there are some bad actors who might leak a code on honey.com, or they might start running paid ads against your keywords and get all the traffic, or they might send it to a click farm, get a lot of clicks if you're paying CPC for affiliates. Like there's a bunch of affiliate fraud that happens, or self-referrals, or use a fake credit card to make a purchase and then get the commission and then refund it later or whatever, right? Like there's so much of this affiliate fraud that happens. So there's two sides to the coin where you're like under crediting the good people and over crediting the bad people. And we're like, hey, this is like a serious problem to be solved, which is why we created SATHI that addresses both these problems. So yeah.
That's amazing. Now, if I'm running an affiliate program, what are some of the KPIs that I should be tracking, or my team should be tracking, or we should be using to judge the health of the program or the health of the relationship with an individual contributor?
Yeah. Yep. One of the things that we've built our new software around, SATHI, is a lot of apps in this space prioritize scale. Like they want you to get thousands and thousands of affiliates. But again, having run SARAL before, we have that benefit of hindsight. Like the volume of your program doesn't matter. If you have 100 affiliates that are promoting you every single month, they're driving $1,000 in sales. That's like $100K a month revenue channel, right? So you need a very small affiliate pool. The goal is that they need to be active. So we've built features that automatically drive activity and flag inactivity and things like that. But speaking of metrics, obviously track the basics like total revenue, total commissions, cost of, this is one thing that most brands don't track because it's not easy to track, is like seeding cost. Typically you would send free products to your affiliates. How much is that costing you? Factor that into your ROI or ROAS metric. So track all of the basics. Some of the metrics that I have found useful are like activity rate. So if you have 1,000 affiliates, but 100 are active, that's a 10% activity rate. You got to boost that over time. So make sure you're creating the right incentive. I can talk to how you can boost activity rate. But like activity rate, another metric that most brands don't track. What else? CAC and AOV. Again, like some of these basics, but for affiliates. Like, hey, what's the new customer acquisition cost through our affiliates? New versus returning split. Sometimes you may find that your affiliates or influencers are only driving repeat purchases, which, may or may not be your goal. So, hey, there's all this revenue, but it's all repeat versus new. And then it's different, right? So track the split. New customer CAC, AOV from affiliates. Is my AOV from affiliates higher or lower than my average AOV? Ideally, it should be higher because it's coming from a place of trust. Typically, people buy more when somebody recommends it versus it's like, hey, it's a cold Facebook ad and I've never heard of you before, right? So those are some of the metrics that come to mind. Time to revenue is a good one. Like, hey, once I onboard, how quickly do they make their first dollar? I think that's pretty important. And there's like a few others we show. There's earnings per click, revenue per affiliate, blah, 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 bunch of orders per affiliate, things like that. But these are some of the ones that come to mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of those I hadn't really thought about before. So that's fantastic. And I mean, I guess it, just for total transparency to the audience, it's like, at our agency, we don't manage or run influencer or affiliate type programs. I would put that more into your advertising marketing team's bucket, more retention, maybe kind of, sort of. I don't know. All we do at the agency is split testing, right? So it's like, these are things that are a little bit outside. So we've got a lot of friends that we can refer people to, but it's not something that I'm necessarily running every day. So I'm obviously not the most informed about it. And that's why I love having conversations with experts like yourself to learn more about it.
Yeah.
So with me admitting that I am not the smartest about this, like, is there anything I didn't ask you about that you think would resonate with our audience or that's like worth bringing up?
I guess maybe we can talk about how do you, like, one of the questions that I often get asked is how do you decide what affiliate commission to give? because there's best
Yeah.
practices around it, right? And then most brands go for the best practice and end up losing money. So that's like one question I can answer. Basically, give as high of a commission percentage as possible without losing money on the sale. This is a good thumb rule if you're brand new to affiliate marketing. So if you have a, 60% gross margin and you can afford to spend 40% of that, like the first 40% on marketing, you can then allocate that to an affiliate commission and to a discount. So I can do maybe like a 20% commission, 20% discount, or 25 commission, 15 discount, whatever that works. But with affiliates, you can reverse engineer your CAC pretty much. Like a 10% affiliate commission is effectively like a 10x ROAS, right? Or with like a 20% affiliate commission is a 5x ROAS. Like you can reverse engineer your ROAS or your CAC effectively with affiliates. So whatever you want it to be, just set it at that and then see how it does in the market. I think this is like a great thumb rule that anybody can use. Later on, you can do more advanced things. You can set up a different higher commission for new customers, lower commission for returning customers. You can set up different commission tiers, like, hey, we've got a default at 15%, a special at 20%, and then like a VIP at 30%. And you can have different commission tiers in your program. You can also, if you have a high repeat order rate brand, you can afford to lose money on the first sale. We've seen brands, I mean, we work with Obvi, like at one point they were doing like a 70% commission, right? So like lose money on the first sale if you're like a recurring subscription product, things like that. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think, what about, this is something I see a little bit out there, is getting into deals where it's more of like a flat rate type situation, and less about tracking and more about like the relationship. Like, what advice would you have for influencer managers or folks like starting those programs when, they approach an influencer and they're like, this is my rate, versus wanting to do something that's a little bit more tracked?
Yeah. On a strategy level, reach out to smaller influencers. Like if you're reaching out to people with less than 10K followers, it's very less likely you're going to be hit with a rate, right? They all are open to affiliate deals. They're also not full-time creators. So it's not an influencer at 100K asking for a fee makes sense. That's literally their business, right? And you're seeking services you're not working with an influencer. You're literally hiring a service for exposure. That's what you're doing. At 10K, 15K, 20K followers, you're working with a person that maybe has a day job and does this influencer stuff on the side, right? So they're more open to affiliate collabs. That's one. Number two, if you are hit by like a rate, see if it works for you. Like, hey, if you know that this person's reel typically gets X views, like 1 million views on average per reel. And then they're charging me $5,000 for content that is this much in CPM. I am saying that that's a $50 CPM. I'm paying $70 CPMs on Facebook on my ads already. Might as well invest money here because I'm getting exposure at a cheaper cost. So like one, you can do that math if you're after impressions and like you want to take that bet. Secondly, if it's a smaller influencer that's saying like, hey, like most often it's not going to be like somebody at 5K asking you for money or somebody at like 150K. It's going to be somebody like, hey, I've got 35,000 followers. I want to charge $700 for a reel. What do I do? In most cases, you can give them data around like, hey, our average affiliate makes this much. They probably make more with affiliate than what you're charging right now. Are you open to that? So you can always pitch that. Start by seeding. Kinship, who's again one of our biggest customers, like that's an agency. They are big at this strategy where they don't do any affiliate upfront. They're just sending free product. Like, hey, here's free product, no strings attached. If you like it, we can work together. If not, no problem, right? So you can try that approach. Again, it's a little bit trial and error and seeing what sticks. But if somebody's throwing a rate at you, one, like if a lot of people are throwing a rate at you, you're reaching out to the wrong people, mostly very large people. You can do a lot with many small affiliates versus like one or two big affiliates. Reach out to smaller people. If somebody is hitting you with a rate, you can do the CPM math and choose to take that bet, or try and negotiate by showing data on like, hey, the average affiliate does this. Or honestly, do a bit of both. There's this thing called a base plus bonus offer where, hey, instead of a $700 flat fee, I can pay you $300 upfront and a 10% uncapped commission. And maybe you make $1,000 off of this. And it's your job to kind of educate the influencer around this. So because what they're looking for is, hey, I want to be compensated for the 45 to 60 minutes I'm going to spend making this reel for you, right? Even if you put like an hourly cost plus editing time and blah, 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 $300, fair amount to pay for a reel, right? Pay that and then give commissions on top instead of paying like a $700 or $1,000 fee. So, could do any of this.
Yeah, absolutely. And that kind of just goes to show that like, there isn't a right or wrong way to do it. You just gotta, you gotta watch your numbers and make sure that you're not over investing in this type of stuff. Yeah. And I do want to you mentioned Kinship in that. Yeah. We work with them on multiple brands. They're a great partner of ours as well. Nice. So if you are looking for help in the influencer and paid growth space, shout out to them.
Shout out. Yeah, totally. Yep.
Awesome. Yash, now, before I let you go, I've been listening to this episode and I'm super interested in, either of your solutions. Obviously, we're here to talk and promote SATHI, but obviously, SARAL's still in the wheelhouse of things that you're doing day to day. You're the CEO of both. Yep. Where should I go? What should I do? How do I get a hold of you?
You can find me on LinkedIn. Search for my name. You'll find me. Best place, LinkedIn or Twitter, search for my name, you'll find me. If you just want to have a conversation about any of this, and if you want to go to SATHI, that's mysathi.io. That's mysathi.io, and then it's getsaral, GETSARAL.com. If you want to check out either of the platforms. But yeah, we're happy to chat. Feel free to, there's links to book a meeting on both the platforms. So feel free to just get on a call with us and we'll advise. We've actually driven brands away from SARAL if we think that SATHI is a fit, and then told brands like, hey, actually SATHI won't be a fit. You actually need SARAL, go to SARAL, and we're happy to chat about either. So yeah.
Absolutely, Yash. Thank you so much for coming on the show today and sharing all those amazing insights.
Thank you for having me, Chase.